ever dreamed of hunting treasure and learning English at the same time?
Join Suleiman and Anabaya on Treasure Island. Follow the adventure, discover hidden words, and practice English like a pro, all in easy, step-by-step lessons.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Mr. Khan English Channel. I'm Suleiman, and joining me is Anabia.
Hi everyone! In today's episode, we've got something fun and exciting. We'll learn English through a story. And not just any story. This one's full of pirates, mystery, and adventure.
That's right. Today, we'll listen to a simplified version of the famous story Treasure Island. It's short, easy to follow, and perfect for improving your English naturally.
We'll go step by step. First, we'll enjoy the story told slowly and clearly. Then, we'll learn some important vocabulary from it, with examples you can use every day. And finally, you'll practice shadowing. That means repeating after us to improve pronunciation and fluency.
Exactly. So, sit back, relax, and get ready for an English learning adventure. Let's begin Treasure Island, told just for English learners.
Journey to Treasure Island.
A long time ago, near the edge of a quiet sea village, there stood a small wooden inn. It was called the Admiral's Rest. A young boy named Jim Hawkins lived there with his parents. Life was peaceful. Nothing exciting ever happened.
Until one cold morning, a mysterious old sailor arrived. He was tall and strong, but looked tired and rough. His face had a long scar, and his eyes were full of worry.
The man rented a small room and asked for rum every day. He didn't talk much, but every morning he climbed a nearby hill with a telescope and looked out at the sea, as if waiting for someone.
The guests at the inn whispered about him. He seemed dangerous. He had a heavy wooden chest, always locked. Sometimes, late at night, he sang old pirate songs that made everyone nervous.
One evening, he called Jim and said, "Boy, if you ever see a sailor with one leg, tell me right away. I'll pay you a silver coin each month for that." Jim didn't understand, but he agreed.
Days passed quietly until one dark afternoon, a blind man came to the inn. His face looked pale, and his voice was cold. He asked for the old sailor, whose name was Billy Bones.
The blind man handed Billy something, a small, round piece of paper. Billy touched it, and his face turned white. He whispered, "The black spot." And within minutes, he fell to the floor, dead.
Jim and his mother were frightened, but they opened Billy's chest to collect the money he owed them. Inside, they found coins from many countries and something else, a map. A treasure map.
The map showed an island far across the sea, the place where the legendary pirate Captain Flint had hidden his gold. Jim took the map to Dr. Livesey, a kind local doctor, and Squire Trelawney, a rich landowner. Together, they decided to go after the treasure.
They hired a ship called the Hispaniola. The captain's name was Captain Smollett, a serious but honest man. And Jim was allowed to join the voyage as a cabin boy.
Among the crew was a cheerful man named Long John Silver, the ship's cook. He only had one leg and used a wooden crutch. He always smiled, told jokes, and had a green parrot that shouted, "Pieces of 8! Pieces of 8!"
Everyone liked Silver, but Jim soon discovered a dark secret. One night, while hiding in a barrel, he overheard Silver whispering with some sailors. They were pirates, and they planned to take the ship and steal the treasure once they found it.
Jim's heart raced, but he stayed silent. Later, he told Captain Smollett everything. The captain thanked him and warned the loyal men to prepare for danger.
After weeks at sea, the ship finally reached Treasure Island. The island looked peaceful, full of green trees and golden beaches, but everyone could feel the tension.
Some crew went ashore, and Jim quietly followed them. He wandered into the forest and met a strange man named Ben Gunn. He had been left alone on the island for 3 years. He was thin, sunburned, and a little odd, but kind.
Ben told Jim a big secret. He had already found Captain Flint's treasure and hidden it safely in a cave. He promised to help Jim and his friends if they would take him home afterward.
Meanwhile, the pirates, led by Silver, took control of the ship. Captain Smollett and the honest men moved into an old wooden house on the island to protect themselves. A fierce battle began between the two groups.
Guns fired, swords clashed, and the air filled with smoke. Jim showed great bravery. He snuck out at night, found a small boat, and reached the ship alone. There, he fought one of the pirates and took back control of the Hispaniola.
When Jim returned to his friends, they were overjoyed. Silver pretended to be friendly again, but they no longer trusted him. Finally, Silver and his men followed the treasure map to the marked spot, but found nothing.
The hole was empty. The treasure was gone. They were furious, but they didn't know that Ben Gunn had already moved it. One by one, the pirates disappeared into the jungle. Some never returned.
At last, Jim and his friends found the hidden cave. Inside were mountains of gold, silver, and jewels. They loaded the treasure onto the ship and prepared to sail home.
One night, Long John Silver escaped with a small bag of gold. No one ever saw him again. The rest returned safely to England, richer, wiser, and forever changed.
Jim had started the journey as a boy, but he returned as someone brave and mature, someone who understood friendship, courage, and trust.
Boost your English. Now that we've finished the story, let's learn some useful words and phrases from it. We'll explain each word simply, give an example, and then practice together.
Great, let's start.
1. By the sea means near the ocean. Example: they built a small house by the sea. Now repeat: the inn was by the sea.
2. Inn, a small, cozy hotel. Example: we stayed at a quiet inn during our trip. Now repeat: let's rest at an inn tonight.
3. Rough, looking untidy or wild. Example: the old sailor looked rough with messy hair and a dirty coat. Now repeat: he looked rough and scary.
4. Scar, a mark left after a wound heals. Example: she has a small scar on her arm. Now repeat: he had a scar on his face.
5. Nervous, feeling worried or afraid. Example: Jim felt nervous when the sailor entered the inn. Now repeat: she looked nervous before the test.
6. Keep an eye out, to watch carefully for something. Example: keep an eye out for the sailor with one leg. Now repeat: keep an eye out for danger.
7. Pale, very light skin color, often from fear. Example: he turned pale when he saw the black spot. Now repeat: she looked pale and tired.
8. Collapse, to fall down suddenly. Example: he collapsed after running for hours. Now repeat: Billy collapsed on the floor.
9. Voyage, a long journey by sea. Example: the voyage to Treasure Island took many weeks. Now repeat: we went on a long voyage.
10. Take over, to gain control, often by force. Example: the pirates tried to take over the ship. Now repeat: they planned to take over the ship.
11. Adventure, an exciting and risky experience. Example: finding the treasure was a great adventure. Now repeat: that was an amazing adventure.
12. Right away, immediately, without delay. Example: come here right away. Now repeat: he ran to help right away.
13. Walked off, to leave quietly or without speaking. Example: he just walked off into the forest. Now repeat: Jim walked off alone. shadowing practice.
Now it's your turn to practice shadowing. Repeat each line with us. Focus on pronunciation and rhythm.
They lived by the sea.
Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. They lived by the sea.
He looked rough and scary.
Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. He looked rough and scary.
He had a scar on his face.
Repeat after me. He had a scar on his face.
Jim felt nervous.
Repeat after me. Jim felt nervous.
Keep an eye out for danger.
Repeat after me. Keep an eye out for danger.
Billy collapsed on the floor.
Repeat after me. Billy collapsed on the floor.
We went on a long voyage.
Repeat after me. We went on a long voyage.
The pirates tried to take over the ship.
Repeat after me. The pirates tried to take over the ship.
That was a great adventure.
Repeat after me. That was a great adventure.
He walked off into the forest.
Repeat after me. He walked off into the forest.
Final thoughts. Great job, everyone! You've just improved your listening, vocabulary, and pronunciation all through a classic English story.
Remember, stories are one of the best ways to learn English naturally. They teach you new words in real context and make learning fun.
If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mr. Khan English Channel. We've got many more stories, phrases, and conversations coming up.
Thanks for watching, and keep practicing because every day you speak, your English gets stronger.
See you next time on Mr. Khan English Channel. Bye!